Oh, actually, I'm going to, never mind. Okay, welcome to our team call. Today is October 9th, 2018, and we are talking tonight about a new approach to inviting, and I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Let me just put my notes really fast so I don't forget anything. But I wanted to go over some announcements and some recognition. I want to start doing that at the beginning of our team calls because you guys are awesome and you should hear how awesome you are all the time. So first, in regards to announcements for the, the network, Shift Shop is relaunching. So if you are kind of a newer coach, Shift Shop is one of the really awesome programs. I really liked it. It's very much like, Brenna has a word for it, like athletic training. I don't know, like drills, like whatever. She hates it. I thought it was really good, but it reminds her of basketball practice. So I understand the hatred, where I didn't do basketball practice because I was like, and am still like gangly, and so but it's very cool because Shift Shop was a very big program, but it didn't really get a lot of hype. People do get good results from it, and he added on demand like extra workouts. So basically what they're doing on demand now is that they're giving all this bonus material so that like you're never just paying for on demand. And like, honestly, if anyone was like, oh, it's not really worth it, I would be like, how is it not worth it? Because they give you so much there. And at Leadership, they announce a bunch of stuff. And so like, for example, just like Shift Shop is getting these new workouts added in so that like these older programs where you just repeated the same workout over and over and it kind of got boring, that's not happening anymore. So they're doing that with 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme in the spring, which is an amazing program. And it's kind of my favorite program ever because that was my first program. So it was like my big transformation. So that's why I love it. There's new A Little Obsessed workouts and 80-day obsession. They're going to get some new ones. So it's just like, honestly, if anyone ever said it's not worth it, I would be like, you're ridiculous. Along with adding crazy new amounts of recipes to fixate. And that's what I'm really trying to push in our challenge groups right now, is letting them know, because nutrition is such a huge part of our results, right? And a lot of times people don't know what to do. They don't want to try new recipes, or they don't even know where to find it, even though Pinterest is like flooded with them. But now I have them go to Fixate in the challenge, the on demand, and I talk about that. I'm trying to talk about that more and more and more in our challenge group so that they know the value of it and that they keep going into it, so that keeps them active in on demand. So anyways, that's happening. Also, if you're a huge Energized fan like I am, they're coming out with fruit punch. They have now they're launching the convenience stick so that you can just slide it into your water bottle, like on the go. I don't really think that the scoop is like that big that you can't get it into the water bottle, but hey, people love convenience. So there's that. Then I think those were that, but I have a picture. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so then I don't know how to like start this. Oh yes, Summit. Okay, hold on. We're gonna talk about Summit 1 second. First is the Coach Sneak Peek group. This, I went live and talked about it, but if you haven't invited, I hope tonight you just, anybody who comes to mind that you're like, they would be such a good coach, just ask them. Just plant the seed, because this group is going to be really great. We are lucky that we have these really successful leaders, and we get to just talk them up. Be like, oh my gosh. So you don't have to think like, oh, I haven't had success yet in the business to the level you want, right? You're like, I want to be here. I can't invite to the business. No. Play it up. Be like, we are so lucky on our team. We have and like say 15-star $1 million earner. Who cares? Say whatever you want, because that's what Brigida is. So she has so much knowledge. She's on the coach advisory board. And even if she's not like your specific jam, because she's not necessarily mine in regards to like, I don't obsess over Brigida, but I really, really respect her. And what we can do is we can be like, oh my gosh, we're doing this group and all these leaders who, and Brenna and I are in the like there's like a document where we're seeing how the group is going to be laid out. And like the people who are talking in the group, like you could sign up, but you had to sign up under a specific thing. So it was like, if you have replaced your income, if you are within 6 months, you're talking? Good for you. See, Brenna's talking. See, now we have to. Oh my gosh. So there was like another one that was like, what's your topic? Good for you. Did you sign up? Good for you.
No, she just reached out to me and asked me if I would share my story. I'm doing the slot for like stay-at-home mom who works it in part-time. Anyways, that's all. But exciting.
So exciting because Brenna is a stay-at-home mom and she like works it part-time, and like she used to work at her social working job, and so like Brenna is busy as heck. And so, but that's what it was. So it was like these specific criteria that like people can get this well-rounded picture of like there's not just one level of success in the business, there's not one way to do it, there's so many different ways. And so, oh my gosh, I'm like so excited that you're talking. I'm so happy. Way to like drop that right now because now I'm like unfocused. Just kidding. So
can I say one more thing about that, Sam? Not about me talking, but as a great way to invite is even if you don't want to like address who's speaking or like no one, people don't know what 15 Star is. I've just started saying like, hey, I'm running this. I'm co-hosting a What is Coach sneak peek group. And we're going to talk about what we do as coaches, how we build a business, answer questions, and talk about what to expect as a coach. And most people are like, if they've never shown any interest or would want interest, that's like the main thing that they want to know, like what information am I getting? So I've just been talking like that. Like they don't know if my face is going to be in there or not. I just want to get them in the group and be like, hey guys, this is what you're going to learn. And be pumped about it. And then I also throw in like, and you could win a prize. Like, oh, that's cool too.
Anyway, I actually forgot to even mention the prize thing. And I've been reaching out to people who their hesitation was financial, because I know right away that a solution to their finances, or coaching could be a solution to their financial struggle. So I've been reaching out to all the people in my like long-term follow-up list that are like, oh, I want to buy it, I just don't have the money. We'll see who answers. No, this is starting Wednesday, tomorrow. So you can start adding people tonight, but it's going to be open for a month. So the goal, just so everyone's aware, the goal is that we're going to do this every single month. And just like the one that I created on a drastically smaller scale is going to just be open. So if you add somebody, they can take themselves out, but if not, they'll be in it and they'll get the notifications for next month. And that seed will just be watered and watered and watered. Also, with the Shift Shop thing, the promotion is that it's $20 off the challenge packs. And that's something that Brigitte said she really wants to start leveraging, and I would really like to start leveraging, is these program launches. And so next week, just like the flash sale where she put everything together and we just added people in it, she calls it add and tag. We're doing that for Shift Shop. What is Shift Shop? What is an accountability group? And here's all the information. And so if people are like, well, what's an accountability group? I don't know what you're talking about. You can just add them into it. And it's like, hey, we're just going to explain it. Do you want to come in? And that is something that we're going to try to be doing every month. And if there's not a program lunch, just like what is an accountability group kind of a thing. So basically working smarter, not harder. Now the other, so there's a Make Your Mark promotion. So there's all these prizes this month where you can earn swag, which is always like my favorite thing, is to earn things. Like there's like a sweatshirt. I don't have the picture, so forgive me. But it's based on two things. Now, we are always in the driver's seat of our own success. So if you wanted to crush it and get Success Club 20, you would get the top prize. And then, yes, the cool ass water bottle. I think there's like a hat or something. And then there's Success Club 15 and Success Club 10. Now, if you don't have those high numbers, but you and your team, so you and your personally sponsored coaches are freaking crushing it, and you get Success Club 5 and you help your coach get Success Club 5, then you still qualify for those things. So look at the specifications, but prizes are always so fun to push for. Never mind the regular Success Club one, like the first month you reach it, the third month, and the 6th month that you reach it. that you get these things. So, and then it's just like wear and share. So you wear it, you have it in your pictures, you're being super subtle, but you have all this cool stuff. So then there's, we have a Canadian coach now, right, Elizabeth? So when Elizabeth watches the recording, because I'm sure she will, because she's a hustler, your vegan Shakeology launches, your vegan, pumpkin Shakeology. It's really, really good. So grab it if you can, Elizabeth. It launches, when is that? Oh, 2 days, on Thursday. And then Super Saturday is coming up. All my Boston girls, guys, we have so many freaking people in Boston. Get together and go to Super Saturday. Like, I'm going to start yelling. Make it fun. Like, you don't have to get dressed up. You're going to do a workout there. So don't, like, think that this is a bunch of pressure. You're going to go, you're going to cry, you're going to get motivated, and then you're going to sweat it out. And they sometimes have, like, Shakeology bar there. Sometimes it just depends how big your personally one is there. But if you need to get fueled and pumped up and like to crush the final quarter, go to Super Saturday. Get there. It is worth it. It is so worth it. Sometimes tickets are free. Sometimes they're like $10. It's so freaking worth it. Now, the annual event summit is every summer. I don't want to say every July, but it's every summer. And next year it's in July. Brenna and I have gone the last 2 years. We already have more people coming this next year, and we want to have so many people. Like, we want t-shirts and hats, and we want to go to a bar, and we want to, like, crush it because it's so fun. I cannot tell you how amazing it is. The tickets are dropping in price just for 10 days at the end of the month, from the 20th, or 11 days, from the 20th till the 31st. Get your ticket if you haven't got it already, because I don't think it will drop again. I didn't see it drop again last year. I don't even remember them doing this, honestly. So get to Summit. It's amazing. Well, everyone will link up to do rooms. Like, heck, if we could get an Airbnb house, like we make it as affordable as possible, and you can earn 200 points for travel cash and stuff, like to buy, I'm sure, food there. And it's just really fun and awesome. And I don't even think we ended up spending that much money. I mean, obviously you have to buy your flight and like the hotel and the ticket, but in regards to when we're there, you're really, really busy. Like, you're just running around. We buy the food that you just get right there. And then the rest of it is fun, what you want to do while you're there, which you can decide how much you want to spend. So it's not really this crazy. And we went to like dinner at the Yard House. So it wasn't like anything nuts. So that was that. Okay. So sorry, there's a lot of announcements this month, but get to Summit, get to Summit, get to Summit. I'm just going to say over and over and over. Now, recognition, I want to start doing that. So, it's on my laptop downstairs, and I didn't realize it wouldn't transfer up as easy. So I can't share my screen, but Success Club right now is, Madison has 2 points. She's pretty pumped about that, and I'm at 4. But it's the beginning of the month, and we're all crushing it, and I want to help every single person who has it on their goal to reach Success Club. Please reach out to me. I will help you. We will draft invites together. You can send them to me, and I'll tell you how to respond. If she's okay with it, I'm going to say that Rachel has sent them to me and been like, how do I answer this one? And I'm like, oh, girl, just say this, or I don't know, let's come up with it together. So that's awesome. I also wanted to recognize 2 people, Brenna, for multiple reasons, apparently because she's co-hosting the group, but mostly because she recruited 6 coaches last month, you guys. Like, I didn't even know that because she's modest AF. And like, I can like see, but I don't always track how much Brenna crushes it. And so apparently she really crushed it. So she's like really putting her head down and focusing on doing the vitals. And that's how you grow. And I'm sure that she didn't talk to all of those people in September for the first time in September. I'm sure if I let Brenna talk, she would tell you that she talked to them like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and then they finally signed up. And then I also wanted to recognize Joni. She is our new coach, and she has been showing up on our Instagram stories every single day, and she's doing Coach University and tagging me. Like, this girl is full-time special ed teacher. She is working on her master's degree, and I told her that I can tell that she's scheduling work time in, even if it's only for 30 minutes. So she does 1 Coach University video like 5 times a week because I get the tag so I can see. And I told her, and I'll tell all of you, that's how you build a successful business. It's not taking one Saturday and doing everything and, you know, sending out a million invites. It's just doing tiny little actions consistently over time, and that's how you build a business. So I just wanted to do those really quick recognitions. Make sure that you guys are inviting to the coach sneak peek. Let Brigitte and Brenna and Breezy and all the other coaches who are going to be talking in this group do the talking for you, and then you get to just invite and tag them, invite and tag them. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you about the new, and this is not a very long call because it's stupid simple. So the new approach to inviting. Now, I have always done what I have trained you all to do. So send a Hey Girl message, invite them, follow up with them, build a relationship, and that taking a really long time. So this year, I wanted to take my business to a new level, and I really am proud of what I've done. However, I wanted to do more. And so that's kind of where this summer, after really 6 months of being consistently signing coaches, making Success Club every single month, and our team really growing, and me being like, well, why are my Success Club numbers not higher? You know, like if I'm spending all this time, why is it not higher? And I know I've talked to you guys about this, and I have to push them down because I have to talk with my hands. Like, oh, I found the binky, yay. Okay, so you know I've always said, like, we invite this many people, we Hey Girl this many people, and then only this many answer. So then we invite this many people, but then only this many answer, and then this many sign up. So to me, it was like, okay, so I'm spending all this time talking to this many people when only a small percentage of them are going to sign up. And that's okay, but that's not a great use of my time. And I didn't know that this was my question, but my question was answered when I became a student and I started searching. Well, actually, the answer was just handed to us in the Diamond Dash. This girl that we were co-hosting with was like, hey, watch this video. But I didn't know that this is what I needed, but I knew my problem. So I was like, how can I just talk to people who want my help? Like, how is that possible? And then I was like, well, I'll just talk to more people, you know, higher numbers, higher whatever. Like, if I Hey Girl this many millions of people, then I'll get higher success stuff. But I have 3 kids, and you work full time, and you're a full-time mom. Like, we don't have time for that. So what this system is that you invite everybody from the beginning, but you don't do it in a super salesy way. You just say, hey, how can I help you? How can I help you? Period. And the mentality behind this is that stop thinking that you are not running a business. Whether you are a hobby coach and you do something else full time, you are running a business, and you want your business to grow so that your time is worth it. And in this mentality of you are running a business, if you are running a physical store and somebody walked into your store, what would you ask them? You would ask them, hey, can I help you find anything? You know, walk into any store, you guys, and somebody in a red shirt from Target will ask you if you found everything you were looking for. You know, I did retail all through high school and like before I got into serving. And that's what we did, that we had to greet them, even in serving, we had to greet them within a certain amount of time and ask them if they needed help. So you need to think, and I'm not even going to talk about Facebook, you need to treat your Instagram like it's a business. And when somebody walks through your door, you need to say, hi, can I help you with anything? And it doesn't have to be like, hey, you have to buy a challenge pack. It's, hey, can I help you with anything? So what we're doing is we're getting to the point faster. Now, that's it. Like, it's so, like, I feel like it's so simple, but everyone's probably like, what? Well, okay, what do I need to do from start to finish? So the girl, if you'd like to look up further trainings on it, her name is Kate Morgan, and I've talked about her on like live videos we've done and team calls we've done. She's like way simple and way to the point. Like, her team calls are like not even anything crazy, because she's literally like, this is just what I do. We know that the 4 vital behaviors are to work out, or be proof that products work, do your personal development, invite, and recognize. And all she like literally in the team call, she's like, all I do is just more of that. Like if you're not seeing success, you're just doing less of it than I am. And her success club is like 50, 60 points. And in July, she was 13th in the network. So out of 400,000 coaches, she was number 13. And she signed up as a coach last December. And all she did was put her head down and invite anybody who walked through her Instagram. Hi, can I help you? Hi, can I help you? And so I started doing that. And not like this is like, I mean, I think it's kind of a big accomplishment, whatever. I had a baby in September and I made Success Club 12. Like, because I was using the system and I was just talking to people who wanted help or who wanted what I had to offer right away. So the time I was spent on my business was time spent with people who wanted help or will want help eventually. So what she does and what I have been doing, and I'm pretty sure what Brenna has been doing and what Wesleyan has been doing, right? The three of us. We didn't want to tell you about this until we saw success. So it's not like we were hiding anything from you. It's that as leaders and as you guys are leaders, you kind of want to feel it out first before you tell your success partner or your team or whatever. So she takes a piece of paper and she folds it in half, and that's what I've been doing. I bought a new notebook, and she opens up her Instagram stories, and people who are watching her Instagram stories, she sends an invite. So I was just promoting a Lift 4 group. So what I said was, hey girl, I don't know if you've seen my Instagram stories, but I am opening enrollment for this new, I wish I could pull one up right now. Let me see, I have it saved. Hey babe, I don't know if you see my Instagram stories, but I wanted to invite you to my next virtual health and fitness accountability group. I have a few spots open for my September enrollment, and I would love to have you. So that was September. But I've done it since September, or since no, so I started in August promoting for my September one. And hi baby, sorry. And then this one was, I'm putting together a health and fitness accountability group specifically for super crazy ladies. In parentheses, less time, but more effective workouts, clean eating with a cheat day, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And I would so love to have you. Let me know if you want to chat about it and maybe snag one of those spots. Now, I literally number one all the way down, and I just send that to every single person, and then I write their hashtag down. Or their handle, sorry. And then I move on. That is my invites. Now, for me, I'm doing 52 a day. Now, in a week, if I work 5 days a week, that's what, 250 plus 260 invites a week. That is way more than I've ever done in my 3 years of business per week. 250 if I worked 5 days a week. Now, you're like, I don't know if I could do that many. Now, what if you just did 20 of those a day? 20 times 5 is 100 invites in 1 week. And we tell you in our trainings that you should be inviting 100 people a month, roughly. What if you did 100 a week? That's going to get you talking to people way, way, way faster. Now, what does this mean? If you're going to invite to this level, you have to share your journey on your Instagram story, because they're going to go to your Instagram story and say, what is this girl all about? Or they're going to go to your feed. What is this girl all about? Now, I will tell you that not everybody answers. I have so what I do then, so then I send whatever, and then I will go, so I have an invite section in my schedule of who I'm going to invite, I work more than an hour, so not my power hour, but my power time. I have invites and then follow-ups. So in 2 days during my follow-up time, I will go in and go back to whatever that day, and I'll open up the message and see if they answered me, because sometimes I don't have my notebook right with me if they answer me. But I circle their name if we started talking about it. So some people are like, yeah, I'd like to talk about it, or I've seen it, or whatever they say back. What is this all about? Because I'm kind of vague. Like, I don't say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach and I'm doing Lift 4 and you have to buy Shakeology to be in my group. Like, I'm just like, hey, I do this. Do you need help? And they're seeing me because I'm sharing my story, and I'm adding people to my network who are also with babies. And they're saying, oh my gosh, this mom is getting up and she just had a baby and she's getting up to do her workout. So my tribe is curious, just like Brenna and Rachel both have a toddler, right? You guys have a baby around the same age. So you're adding people with similar ages. And so when you share that the babies are all over the place while you're trying to do your workout, or Brenna had to do yoga last night because her baby was like nutso all day, that speaks to people. So instead of telling your story in a message to them while you're building a relationship, you're relying that they're watching your Instagram stories. And if they're not watching your Instagram stories, you just told them to watch your Instagram stories. So now they're gonna watch your Instagram stories, and that's what you want. Now, I have about 17-ish people on a really good day ask for more information. Brenna, would you say like 12 to 17 out of like 50 are asking like, well, what do you mean? And that doesn't mean they're signing up, and that doesn't mean that they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so interested, but they're like, tell me more. So because then I'm adding anybody who says, tell me more, or answers in any way, then I add them to my electronic list. So I don't type all of those 52 people a day into my list. If they don't answer me, that's okay. I don't unfollow them. I don't do anything. I just don't enter them into my list. Now, I will tell you though that I only have 1, maybe 2 people out of my 52 unfollow me. They still are watching me, even though I sent them that message. So a lot of you are thinking, well, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose all my followers. I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to be too salesy and they're going to drop off. No, I only have like 1 or 2. I had one day where 4 unfollowed me. So people are still okay, but for their own reason, they're not ready to talk about it yet. So then I add people to my streak who I've circled. Hi, baby. I add people to my streak who answered me, and then I have the normal follow-up thing that I do. And then when people give me that final answer of like, I'm not ready right now, or they start ghosting me, which is totally normal, I then have them, and then I build a relationship with them. So instead of going, hey girl, building a relationship, I invite them, then build a relationship and continue to follow up with them. So, and then in my schedule now, I have purposeful scrolling, and I go through and I watch Instagram stories, and I just comment on people's Instagram stories. I set a timer. Ideally, I set a timer on a good day. Right now, it's just whenever I breastfeed and I'm lazy. I will just set a timer and then go through Instagram stories and feeds and just genuinely comment on people's stuff. So I'm not tracking that I'm commenting on them. I'm not writing anything down. Like, if I see a girl that I love, I'll write her name down so I like remember to go look at her and stalk her. But for the most part, I just let my Instagram stories play, and I'll just comment genuinely what I'm thinking, as opposed to before, which was fine. We're tracking what we're doing, but how much time did that take? You're going through and you're liking and you're commenting, and then you're having to write their name down. Then you're having to go back and like and comment again. So right now, especially like if you need to work a little when you're with your hubby or when you're with your kids, or like that's what you can do then. That's something that you can check off on your list that you did purposeful scrolling, and you can comment and you can engage with people and then start conversations, but it's not like, you have to write it down. So to me, this is working wonderfully. I will continue this at this level. I will tell you that I make sure I do my invites more when I'm promoting a challenge group. Right now with coaching, I haven't figured out a way to do it when I'm talking about coaching, because it has worked really well for me to talk about my Instagram stories. So I haven't been like, I'm promoting coaching. Like, I'm not messaging everybody about coaching, because I do still think that's a little bit more of a different crafted question. I'm not like sending that to every person. Like, I'll send it more to people who comment on who like my coaching posts, not necessarily just watch my stories, but I'm sending it about the health and fitness thing. Now, I do go back and send a message to everybody I invited, and I say, hey girl, I'm not sure if you, just like I trained you guys before, because I'm just not ready to just send that and not have a follow-up makes me feel less salesy, even though I don't even think I'm being salesy. But just in my own mind, I'll say, hey girl, I'm not sure if you got my last message, but I run a group every month and I'd love to have you. What are you doing for your health and fitness routine right now? So I ask them a question. And that's really where I get my number 17 from, because then people will answer me and be like, oh, I swim, or oh, I run. Oh, I'm really into, like, I have a girl right now who, when I started this in August, she was like, I like to do my workouts outside, like doing them in the videos sound awful. Well, she's in our challenge group right now, crushing it. Asked me in the coach sneak peek thing. But because I asked her what she did, the conversation started back up. And then she messaged me because she was like, it's getting cold. I can't be outside, because she's in a cold state. So that conversation would have just died. So I like sending the message like, hey, what are you doing for your health and fitness routines right now? And then if they're like, I'm doing Weight Watchers and I'm crushing it, I'm like, good for you, girl, crush it. Like, I'm not trying to change their mind necessarily. But then because they answered me and they engaged with me, I put them on my long-term follow-up list. And then I go back and I ask them, hey, how is Weight Watchers going? And a lot of times they're not getting the results they want long-term on Weight Watchers, or they're not getting the results they want on Thrive, or whatever, or the wraps, whatever they're doing. I did have a girl be like, I'm doing the wraps and it's so great because I don't have to do anything. And I was like, okay, good for you. So, long-term, this is what we're thinking. So truly, it's always been, you want to hit higher success club numbers, invite more people. So this has you inviting more people, even if you're not ready to do the 52 or the 62 level, because it does take me, I don't know, to do 52, it probably takes me like an hour. And it's not, how long do you think it takes you, Brenna?
So my page has 66 slots on it, and I can do all of them in 30 minutes.
That's really good.
And it's science, but also because, so this is non-baby. I don't have any babies. With a baby around, it's a different story.
Yeah.
And I'm literally looking at the name, sending. The only thing I change on my invites is I add their name into the initial invite. Mm-hmm. So that's literally all I'm typing in. And I'm just like, send. I do actually do coaching invites. So if you want me to talk about how I've been doing that after you're done, I totally can. But those, when I do have, but just because at this point I've gotten a flow, like I try to, on the days when I'm really inviting, I do 2 pages. So I do 120, and that takes me about an hour and 20 minutes, depending on how focused I am too. Also, if I have shows on in the background, which is what I like to do, that's a whole different story. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So, and like some days will take me less time, because like, if I go through my Instagram stories, if I just send them an invite 2 days, and also I'm on my phone because I don't have a stupid Mac. Not a stupid Mac. I really want a Mac. That's me like projecting that it's not cool to have a Mac, even though like all I want is a Mac. But I think I would be faster on typing, to scroll through faster, because on my phone I have to like go out and go back in, and then heaven forbid if I click out of it, then I have to like find where I was in my story list. So anyways, but still more numbers at whatever. So if I have a bunch of new people who like started watching my stories for some reason, I can bust them out faster. But when I have to filter through those people, and what I'll do is, as I go through, I will invite them again. Even if I've invited them and I sent my follow-up list or my follow-up message and they didn't answer, if you are still watching my stories consistently for month after month, I will invite you again. And then eventually Kate Morgan said that she'll say something funny, like if they're really, really watching her stories and they're not answering, she'll be like, hey, I see you watching my stories. Like, do you want to talk about this? And I did send that message to one girl who has been creeping my Instagram stories since yes, Rachel, if you have a Mac. Oh, you have a Mac? Yeah, Brenna will hook you up. So there's like a website that you can do it through. You can look on Instagram on your regular computer, but the app is only for people with Mac. I don't know why Mac is just so exclusively cool. They're like the cool kids, and you're just like, can I sit with you at lunch, please? So So I really just started Instagram in, I don't know, we started like last fall, after last summit. Like I kind of played with it after last summit, but then last fall I got more into it I remember we were in the hotel in San Francisco and I was like loving doing my Instagram stories. It was just so fun. And then, so really only a year. And this girl has been watching me for the whole year and has never answered my hey girls or like comments on their stories or whatever. And I was like straight up like, I see you watching my stories. Like, do you want to talk about this or not? And she answered me. She laughed. She was like, yeah, I do preview Instagram stories like all the time. So, I mean, it just got us talking. I'm not saying like she signed up and she's like making $1 million, but it's just talking to more people faster than what we would be doing if we were sending 20 hey girl messages who ultimately then you, yes, this is how Brenna got me. Yeah. And that's how like Joni just hopped off a call, but like I got her on Instagram the same way. I mean, I wasn't doing this system, but yeah, this is it. And it's not ingenuine because you're adding people, Elizabeth, who you like. Like when I go through and I add, I will tell you, I use a third party. I use Stim Social. And that adds people for you, but you give it all the criteria. So I give the hashtags that I want them to search for so that they're looking for people who are moms. Like they're not finding like people that are not my tribe, so that it's adding when I'm sleeping so that I can invite to this level. Because if you invited to this level, but if you are inviting 50 people a day, you need to be adding 50 people to your network every day, right? Or eventually you'll run out of people. So everyone on this call who I can see seems really into this, but I wrote down fears that might come into your head to doing massive action. And so if you're watching the recording and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like really intimidating to do so many. A lot of people, I love about Instagram is that a lot of people talk about coaching. They're like, I don't want my friends and family to get annoyed with me. So if you're inviting everybody, right, and you're like talking about this, start a new Instagram. Like, I'm not saying I would start a new Instagram because I've already built like a following, but like if you're kind of new and you're like nervous about what your friends are going to think, Instagram is so awesome. You could just start your own Instagram. So if you're a brand new coach and that's something that's in the back of your mind, start a new Instagram and do like you know, Samantha gets fit or whatever. I mean, there's just so many things on Instagram. And then you just build a following there. It's so awesome. I love that. People will get sick of me asking is what will pop into your head. You know, our fears pop into our head because we want a goal so bad, right? But ultimately, what stops us is that if we think, if I really, really try and I do everything I'm supposed to and I still don't reach this goal, it will be devastating. So what we do is we don't really do everything we're supposed to do, because then when we don't hit Success Club or we don't advance rank, we say, well, I didn't really try. So it's not that I'm not capable, it's that I didn't really try. And for some reason that feels better. So don't do that. No one is tracking how many times you're inviting people. In regards to people watching your stories, like if you're on your stories and are like, hey, I still got 3 spots left in my challenge group, who's jumping in? And then the next day you're like, hey, drop your email if you want to be in your challenge group. And the next day you do a poll. What do you like? What do you struggle with more? Workouts or nutrition? Nobody is stalking you hard enough that they're tracking how often you're inviting. But if you want to get to where you want in this business, you have to duplicate what you're doing and times it by 10. The 10X Rule is an amazing book by Grant Cardone. I suggest you get it if you're looking to really grow in this business. He is awesome. And he's like, get out of your own way. Like, just do more of what you want to do. Everyone else is like, well, I can barely do 5 invites. And over here on Team Bold Fitness and Team Hustle Hard, we're like, dude, I just crushed 52 because I'm inviting everybody, because I know that coaching has changed my life. I know that these products have been the solution to what I have needed my entire life, especially my life as a mom, especially my life is moving all around. I know that there is value in what I have. I'm not selling you a quick fix. I'm not selling you a diet pill. I'm selling you a lifestyle change that is, yeah, sure, I'll get $40. You will change your life. So I have no problem doing that. So what can you do right away? You can start this tomorrow. Get a notebook, fold your piece of paper, like hot dog style, hamburger or hot dog, you do hot dog, and then you write down, you just do the numbers and set a goal to whatever is possible for you. Like look, Brenda's doing it right now. I have my notebook downstairs. I was like, oh, I should get it, but no, perfect. Brenda has it. She's got visuals. You just fold it. Now, if you truly work in an hour, now I have been there in my business where I only truly have an hour some days. So maybe you only do 20. And then see how long that takes you for a whole week. You're like, I'm going to do 20. Sometimes it's better at first to test the waters and set a realistic goal instead of being like, I'm going to send 300 a day and then it taking you like a really long time. And then you can't keep up with that, right? Like that's not something you can manage long-term. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to do 20 this whole first week and time yourself to see how long it takes. And then if that fits into your power hour or however long you have to work, then do that. If you're like, oh, that was really easy. Like Brenna can bust them out way faster than I can. Double it to 40. Do 40. Do more. Because the more people you talk to about this, the more people you will be filling your challenge groups with long term. And then the follow-ups can take a little long sometimes. Not long, but you have to like type their name in and like see if they answered you. And then entering them into Streak is the most annoying part to me. The rest, I don't mind sending invites. I don't mind talking to people. That's like the part where I put on a show and I'm like, whatever. I just have to put them in Instagram. So like long term, I don't forget them. But then on your Instagram stories, I just love this business because you can just be who you've always wanted to be, right? You don't be fake, be you, but you get to be just genuinely you. So if you love like a chocolate bar or like if you love, like Westlyn always talks about these donuts, like you'd have to watch her stories consistently over time to realize that she has this obsession with donuts, but she has like this obsession with donuts that I really probably should ask her about because I'm curious. But like, be you, talk about you, all aspects of you and your health and fitness. Do whatever you do. Like I did this bump, shake my entire pregnancy and people effing loved it. I haven't bump, shake yet because I haven't I don't know what to call it really is the issue. But also like, I don't want to shake the baby. And that's just all I keep thinking about is that I'm going to be like the baby shaking lady. And so I just haven't danced with the baby yet because he's just so little and his neck is so fluffing. Anyways, so, but like, just be you, whatever. And I didn't I came up with that just like organically. Like I just was like having like, an endorphin high after a workout. And I just like to listen to 90s dance mix and I just did it. And then eventually the only move I could do was this like move, this like belly thing. And so it just became that. So just be you, do whatever you want on your Instagram stories and people will love it. And then when you show up every single day on your Instagram stories and you're inviting consistently, people will watch you and people will stay around longer. So that's it for me, what I was going to say. Brenna is going to tell you what she does for coaching. And I'm going to look at the chat.
So Sam, that was such a great overview of kind of what we're doing. And there was two other parts that I wanted to just like touch on like those questions you might have in your head is that I want you guys to keep in mind when you're inviting people, these are all people who are choosing to follow you. So they already saw something on your page or in your stories or something that they liked. Like you walk into a store you like. So when someone asks you, hey, can I help you? It's not a weird question. You're like, oh, I chose to be here. This was a choice. So that's part of it is I want you to keep in mind that it's not like you're just like picking a random person off Instagram and sending them an invite and they've never seen your stuff. Like at some point they chose to follow you back or they like your post or there's some reason why they're there. The second part is on the days that I do mass inviting, or follow-ups or whatever, I'm really engaging in my messages side of Instagram. My views to my profile, the views to my stories, like like on a regular day, if I'm not even a day, like in a week, if I'm doing like not that many invites or engaging that much, I'll have like 500 people come to my page. On a day when I'm sending mass invites, it'll be like 3,500, 4,000 people looking at my profile. So if you think about, you're putting out all this great content, you're making it a point to share once a day on your profile, you're doing your stories. If no one's seeing your stuff, then all of that is kind of just there, right? You want people to see it because then they are going to get to know you. They're going to want to engage with you. Same thing with inviting. So if all of those people, you're inviting them, like Sam said, even if they don't respond to you, but you're asking them questions or you're mentioning your story or you're inviting them to something, it's human curiosity to then go creep that person's profile, even if they, like, let's say randomly followed you, but they didn't look at your stuff. It gives them a reason to go look at your stuff and possibly now watch you. So I just want you to keep in mind that it's way more than about the invite. This is like a long-term setup. It's like planting that seed, but in such a way that they know why you're there, you're offering to help them, and whether they take it now or later, that's awesome, and it's going to increase the engagement on your page, period. In regards to coach, so Sam, I also wanted to clarify, when I said that I do that in like 20 minutes, I'm not talking about inviting to my stories. I'm talking about the followers list that I wrote down, and I'm just going through names. So it's a lot faster for me to do that than when you have to go back and forth to your stories list. That does take me a lot longer. So just to clarify, we're probably at the same speed, but in different aspects of this, that's kind of the difference. So in regards to my invites, Sam and mine are very similar, but even the way we talk, you know, in life is a little bit different. So I'll share with you guys what I do, and you can kind of formulate whatever works best for you. In regards to inviting to, like, say, I call mine boot camps. So I have an invite if they liked my page, liked a post. I have an invite if they liked my story or followed my story, and then I have one if they're following me. So typically I'll say, hey, and like I told you guys, I insert their name. I say, thank you for the follow and the support on my health and fitness journey. I so appreciate it, with like a kissy emoji. I hope you guys can hear my child in the background telling the whole story. I say I run these monthly boot camps for women, all centered around being the best versions of ourselves, both mentally and physically. There will be some awesome support and accountability from a strong community of women. I have 5 spots left, or however many I'm at that for that month. And you'd be an amazing addition to this invite-only group. Is this something that would get you pumped? And then I have a lot of people ask me, well, give me more information. And I have a little blurb that it kind of explains what a boot camp is. The only time I invite somebody to coaching, so I watched this training from Melanie Mitchell where she talked about when she wanted to really grow her business, she stopped always reaching out to people who she in her mind had decided were just people who needed this in their life. She started reaching out to people who are already doing this in their life, but maybe would be great at building a business with this. So my niche market tends to be people who are maybe like moms who are like ex-gym rats who still try to go to the gym but struggle with having that balance, or who would like to do these workouts at the gym already and already have a very similar lifestyle. They're already kind of working it in. So when I'm doing my invites, I'll go look at someone's page for a second and see if I get anything that screams like they could be a coach vibe. Do they have recipes on their thing? Do they have workouts? Are they at the gym? Do they wear a lot of yoga pants? Maybe they're just a mom. We're not sure about that. That's just one of my cues. Do I like their workout gear? And, you know, whatever. Like those kind of basic things. If I see that, I'm going to invite them to coaching. And then if they tell me like, oh yeah, I'm not really good at my fitness journey, I'll be like, oh, then maybe my boot camps. You know, I take it down a notch. So my coach invite, I'll say, hey, their name. I love your page and all your amazing content. So I had to reach out and ask, have you ever thought about coaching like I do? You're my kind of lady and you'd be such an amazing addition to the team. Plus I know you would kill it. Is coaching something that would interest you? And I leave it kind of vague. And then typically they're going to tell me, yes, I would, you know, I've thought about coaching, you know, I've seen your stuff. You're so inspiring. What are the details? And it gives me that in to start that conversation. Then I'll invite them to a sneak peek, or I get on the phone with people a lot and I do a 10-minute combo and give them all the info and talk to them about it. So typically what I do is I go through my list and I invite everyone who I think should be a boot camp. If they're a coach, I write coach next to it, and then I go back through and I send the coach messages just as fast, you know, after the fact. So I actually have had a lot of success not necessarily in coaches that have signed up on that day, but I have like 2 coaches who were like, okay, on the 10th, I'll be signing up. You know, so I have 2 coaches I'm following up with tomorrow. I have 4 girls who I'm inviting to this coach sneak peek that we've already kind of had a little bit of a combo and built a relationship. So that's kind of my direction with it. Like Sam did an amazing explanation. For me, the Hey Girl messages was like my nightmare. So this is like my shit. Like I'm obsessed with it. I think it's amazing, especially because our goal is obviously to help as many people as we can. And this gives us the opportunity to do that as quickly as possible. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Last month, the first 2 weeks of September, I sucked. And I turned it on week 3 and sent like 100 invites a day and hit Success Club 12 in 7 days doing this system. So, and signed up 6 coaches. I'm not saying that all those people came in the, you know, from that, but I would say that like probably 3 or 4 of them came from this. So people want the opportunity, especially if they're following you, if they're watching you. People are scared to reach out a lot. And I've had a lot of people tell me like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with your page. I can't believe you reached out to me. And I'm like, oh, girl. So, you know, I'm so cool. It's fine. So just keep that in mind that people who are watching you, they do want to talk to you. There's a reason why we watch people. So that's all I had to add. I love this system personally. I will continue to do it as well. I've been doing it already this month. But again, I've noticed there was about a week where I fell off, and I definitely noticed my engagement went down, my numbers went down, and, you know, the conversations went down. But then, you know, I took it back up, and now I'm seeing those numbers again. So, you know, just keep in mind that everyone here you have the opportunity to help everyone who loves you. So you might as well, and like Sam said, if you're worried about people who are closest to you, 99% of my Instagram is my cold market. They're truly following me because they like what I put on my page, not because we have some prior relationship. So, you know, that's a great kind of mindset to have.
Yeah, you didn't go to high school with them, which was like Facebook. Everyone I went to high school with, and like I have some amazing people that I met that are on this team. So no bashing the people you went to high school with. However, at the level we want to grow at, like we've talked about this, and we talked about it a lot in the Diamond Dash if you weren't in there, but like Diamond is not your end goal. Like that can't be your end goal because you can't, you know, it's just not. It's just not. You have to continue to grow. And I'm just going to truth bomb us really hard right now, you guys. This team is not where it should be. And it's because the system wasn't working. And so instead of quitting, and not saying any of you were thinking about quitting, but like instead of us, it's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and not getting results and expecting different results. Well, we've been trading on the system of the Hey Girl message and the thing, but nobody was hitting Success Club 50. And like, you know, we still had babes on the team that were like, oh, I just can't hit Success Club. So I really feel and believe that increasing your invites gets you to Success Club, higher Success Club numbers. But I also believe that what we were doing and sending 100 Hey Girl messages a day is not practical. So we had to do something different. And I feel like this is it. And this will help us reach the goals that we set at the beginning of the summer, you know, for the final half of the year. You know, we set those big goals to have 7 diamonds on our team, to help 125 people get started this second half of the year, you know, to increase our team by 50 coaches. I believe that increasing your actions gets you there, and I believe that this system will help you. So if you are nervous about that, Brenna and I'm volunteering Brenna, we will send you what we say. We'll just put it on the team call thing, and it's you're gonna have to change it. So, but we can give you a structure that what we have said in a couple situations, and then we'll just put it on the feed for the team call or whatever. And then you're going to have to tweak it. And then if you're struggling with this, first, look up Instagram, like fun Instagram training. So you're a business owner and you have to be a learner. And the first thing that people are going to do when you send that invite that we're going to tell you how to send is they're going to go to your Instagram story. So you have to make your Instagram story all about you and fun. So that's something that you can look up because you're a learner. And how to handle objections. We're going to talk about that at the end of the month, but at the end of the month, and you can't wait till the end of the month if that's something you struggle with. Bonnie Engel has a great call on it. Melanie Mitro has a great call on it. go to Beachbody Champions. I'm sure there's a million calls on it. So those are 2 areas of focus that I'll give you if you are, you know, like me, who I have a problem. I go to YouTube, I search people who have done a training on it and who are rocking it. So I hope that this helps. I hope that you're excited to get your paper and folded hot dog and do a bunch of invites. Again, her name is Kate Morgan. And I just went to her YouTube page and I just watched some of her trainings if you want more details. You can also message us if you like are unclear on some of it, but basically send the invite to everyone, circle on the piece of paper who answers you, and then have the conversations obviously with who answer you, but then put those people into streak and the rest of them you just don't put into streak, which is fine, or whatever your tracking system is. And then you'll continue to build the relationship with those people, even if they're not ready right now, but they will be ready. And that's it. What time is it? Okay, it's pretty much 7. So if you have any questions, just message us. I'm really excited for the coach sneak peek, so don't forget to invite that. And Brenda, so are you going to be talking on Thursday or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so everybody look for Brenna and add and tag. And then we can really say, oh my gosh, Brenna's on our team. Like you can be like, hey, this is a girl on our team.
No pressure. If I totally F it up, you don't have to acknowledge I'm on your team. It's okay. You don't have to. I won't even be upset. Be like, nobody knows her. It's not a big deal.
No, who is that girl? No, she's going to rock it. We know she's going to rock it.
She's a little crazy. I might have energized and then I'll be like this. I'm cold. I'm hot. I'm shaking. It's fine.
I'm cold and hot. You do get cold.
I always get cold and hot during calls. I'm like, I'm sweating, but yet I'm freezing. It's fine.
I definitely think you should take Energize before because it will make it way awesome.
Yeah, and I won't look like this. That's also part of the plan.
Oh, I like it. That's how I always look. So, that's how I've shown up on my Instagram stories consistently for the last 5 weeks. All right, guys, you're awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, and we will see you a lot this week.
All right, bye.